Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, last episode we created this lovely little connector ship, which is supposed to connect different capital ships because otherwise they would probably kill each other in the process. Yeah, it's quite simple. It also has a shield generator on it, you know, just in case it gets shot. I did actually test how much that shield will take, and it's about 5 sniper shots from the lovely attack drone, the new attack drone that we have made. Yeah, so 5 of these sniper shots, noting that these are twin linked, so in 3 shots you could deal damage to the hull. Yeah, the sniper rounds are powerful at taking out shields. Imagine an entire capital ship with like 100 of them on the front. Imagine this with 100 of them on the front. It would just kill everything in the way. But yeah. So the maximum capacity is 10 killer points. 10 basically 10,000 force field points, essentially. Yes. What I've also done is I've added maglocks to the top and the bottom so that this thing can park. And in addition to adding maglocks to the connector ship, what I have done is revamped how we're docking onto the mobile refinery. So now, instead of, you know, using a connector, which, you know, perils of the warp and everything, instead we are using the simple maglock to be able to connect to things. I did try put it on the side, but with this current design it doesn't work. So yeah, in order to drop off resources, these guys just attach to the connectors that are already there, or they can attach to other ships that may have refineries on, such as this one, and everything will be fine. I've currently docked away all of our smaller craft, so that I have more room to work with. Today, however, we are going to be creating a new ship, similar in function to the connector ship, except it does something completely differently. Yes, because that makes total sense. Essentially, what it does is it docks onto another ship, so say for example the capital ship, or the shipyard, or the mobile refinery, and it can do 2 things. One, it will provide shields, or extra shields to those ships that already have shields, and then second, it will also have a construction beacon on it, and since it has a construction beacon on it and it's connected via connector, then the thing that it's connected to can be built by nanite factories. Interesting. So this is going to help me build things because it means I don't have to place down nanite factories, nanite beacons everywhere. So yes, and we're going to start construction by placing the cockpit as usual. And as usual, I've forgotten to add all of this stuff. Oh well. Right. Noting that all of the ships in this series are currently large ships, basically because I prefer large ships. Oh, I can't zoom in using the thing. Okay, never mind. You could like hold control and zoom the object with the control wheel, but you can't do that in single player. Right? No, not single player. No. The other thing. Create a survival mode. That's it. Yes, I know my things. He says. Okay. So as before. Except I need interior plate. Obviously I need interior plate. Why did I not think of that? Because I didn't think I'd need interior plate. The correct answer! Right. We'll have 40. It's unlikely that I'll be welding anything. So, what we're going to have on this is we're going to have 2 small shield generators. This is not supposed to protect ships from, like, I don't know, a frigate. It's supposed to protect it from meteors and asteroids or something. That wouldn't deal damage. I did try crashing a heavily shielded object into the planet, and let's just say perils of the warp happened. And by heavily shielded I mean 4 large shield generators going at 500 meters a second. You can kind of guess what that was going to be used as, but no, it can't be used as that anymore. Sadly. Right. So, the thing that we need to keep in mind is that we need it to be able to connect to this smaller space. Yes, I realise that these weren't done, which is why I'm doing them on camera. And plus I was teasing you about it. Yes, you know who you are. The people who noticed this, that was missing, and these are purple ones. Okay, good. Apparently I forgot these, or did I? Yes, I did. It's probably me forgetting, but now I remember. Well, it's not that I remember, I just noticed that they were missing and I was like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, so that'll be fine. The reason why this is constructing is because it already has a construction beacon on it, which I really need to get rid of once this guy's created. Anyway, back over to here. We need the ship to be able to fit onto here, so it's going to look a bit weird. Either an elongated version of this, so that has more shield. That's actually a very good idea. Just make this one but bigger. Right, okay. Give me a second. I'm just going to fly over so that I can use this as a proper like template. Or template. Depends on your, you know, pronunciation and dialect. But yeah. Okay. So essentially I'm copying this, right? Brain? Are you sure about that? Oh, by the way, here's something fun. You actually have two different brains, and technically they're two different consciousnesses-ish. It's not very well understood, but there's a connection between the two which make the two work as one. It's kind of weird, but that's why I'm always, you know, telling myself that I'm wrong. Mainly. Possibly. I have no clue whatsoever. And it also means that your two brains... one brain has control of your right hand, and one brain has control of the left. So, you know, the camera may be going weird, and the other side of the brain is just going, what the hell are you doing? Also, only one of them has control of the mouth. So technically, one of them, not both of them, would be talking if my connection between the two was broken. However, I have no clue if that's the case, but I like to pretend anyway. Right. Get rid of you, don't need you. Right. Let's get this show on the road, as I've said many times. So we kind of want this kind of pattern, yes. We'll do the horizontal axis first. I guess that's going to be the easier bit. So what we have now is we have plenty of area to have the connection point. Continue this way. What we need, yeah, is, if we go shields, we need these small shield generators. And now you see these two things here. These are shield capacitors and shield flux coils. The capacitors increase the capacitance, so how much it can hold, and the flux coil increases the regenerate. So what we want is we want an equal amount of each, so that this thing can recharge shields at a decent pace. Also, note that the shield generator can hook can get power off of the main ship instead of just the drone. So, well, I say drone, or, you know, utility ship. So the plan is that we have the shields off when this thing is moving around or, you know, not docked to anything. And by docked I mean via connector instead of just, you know, mag locking. And when it does connect on, what we do is we engage the shield generator, and then it will start doing the thing that it's supposed to do. Yes, that. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's have a look. Right. I just need to remember how I did this last time, because apparently I've forgotten. Though it may not seem like it from your end. Right. So we need another spot here, and then we are going... Because I don't need this to connect to both sides, I can just have it like this. So here, Mr. Bond is going to be the conveyor section, so we need to connect these somehow. And why? What? Of course it is. Right. So if you notice, these are actually, if we flip over to here, these aren't full armor blocks, these are inverted ones. Inverted corners. That's just, like, annoyed me a lot. Right. Back on to doing things sensibly. We'll use the full armor blocks. Right. And then we'll do that. And then... really, I should wait for these. And then what we do is we take these out, replace them with... No, not tubes. The connectors. And then the connectors go out... about to there. Yeah, that would work. So increase by 2, and that will be fine. Switch back over. I'm going to flip over so that everything is, you know, nice and easy to see. And we continue with our lovely... I don't need to talk to anyone. There is no one on the server. Cue random person yelling across the hall who is apparently on the server. Anyway, right. So that's the connection point, noting that this thing is going to be less sleek than its, you know, actual counterpart. Good. Right, let's actually place the nanite beacon, shall we? We know this place isn't going to be used, so we'll weld that together. No, not that. Not that. This guy. I now need to get more materials, don't I? Yes, I do. Right, some steel tube and some construction components. In fact, I'll bring all the steel tube and all the construction components, just in case. Just, yeah, this thing is fidgety to weld, which is why I'm kind of annoyed by welding it constantly. There we go. We have the beacon, it is operational, and we should have the rest of its, you know, friends coming in to help us in our time of need, except it's not really a time of need, it's just something that I need done. Okay, and then what we can do is we can start sealing off. And that should be fine. That kind of shape looks a bit weird, but so does everything that I've got. This looks nice, this looks, you know, weird, and the one over there, that thing that we never talk about, is even weirder. Weird ship designs are kind of my thing. Right, and now we're going to do the exterior sections of the hull, because that's what we do. Not exterior sections of Hull, which is a town in Britain, or a city, I can't remember which one. Doesn't really matter. But the Hull, which is not a band either. I don't know even, let me take a second to compose myself before I start speaking anymore, because currently I'm just speaking randomly. And that's the point where people say, yeah, what's the difference between that and usual? Right, you're fine, you're fine. No, I just need 2 more, right? Left? You sure middle? Yes, okay, good. And now we need slopes, and everything should be fine. Noting that we're going to replace some of these armor sections with thrusters in a bit. Now, we do have the capability, yeah, remember, that we can add an arc reactor in here. We do have that capability. And what we can do is we can place... Can we? No. No, we can't. Okay. What I was thinking is we could place, you know, the shield generators. So what we can do, yeah, is we can increase the length of this by 1, and then we can fit an arc reactor at the back, or at the front, you know, here, and then we can have the rest of the stuff do the thing that they do. Okay, so bear with me a second. Let me go get the arc reactor. Arc reactor. No, it's not Goldfinger. Shush. We can have the arc reactor here, place it like this, so that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and then what we do, so we place it here. We replace this block with a conveyor junction. We can replace this one with a conveyor junction. I'll weld these up since I have the materials on me. Well, since I stole the materials anyway. There we go. Have a arc reactor here. Everything will flow through the arc reactor. It's completely fine. Yeah, and then we also have a place to input arc fuel, and then we can have extra space to have the shield generators at the back. Since the arc reactor is only going to finish here, we can then do something fun with that. What do you think? Well, noting that you can't answer in real time, I'm going for yes, let's do it. Yeah, place that guy here, and then that should be welded together in, you know, quite a while. In very much quite a while. Right. Anyway, let's continue working on the sides, shall we? And on the bottom bit as well. Right, I'll be back in a second once the arc reactor has been welded. Okay, we are back. So the arc reactor has finished finished being welded, and we also have the thrusters that we need. The team of thrusters. I believe we have 2 in all directions. That would look so. Okay, now we have to deal with the other problem that we have, and that being we need to have everything else we need. So we need gyroscopes. Okay, so we've got gyroscopes, we've got thrusters, we've got a cockpit, we've got power-ish. I would feel better by having additional power. Perhaps we could have a reactor at the front where you can access things. Yeah, that'll probably be a good idea. You know, one of these where you can input power. Yeah, that'll be good. And then we need a place to add the shield generators. You know, these things that we're supposed to be having in this thing. Okay, so it has connection points all the way around. That's good. So what I'm going to do is increase the length of this, which means I'm going to have to move these. I'll remove these from the playing field. Right. Also emptying my inventory. Noting that the frame rate has now dropped significantly due to the amount of stuff happening. Good, that's fine, and get rid of you. That should be good. As I've said many, many times before, the nanite factory is my friend. It is the best invention as a mod. Combine that with a few sorting scripts and you've got yourself a very, very easy to use construction system. Because it's like creative mode light-ish. It's not survival mode kind of thing where you have to keep welding things on and on and on, or get a ship to have components to weld things on and on and on. But instead it's more of a, you place down the block, if you've got the resources it will be built. Done. However, you don't have any of the symmetry things either, which can be annoying, but that's fine. Okay, so let's do this section again, shall we? So we need thrusters here, thruster here, and then we go over to regular blocks, go across like this, and then we need slopes. And then corner blocks. And that should give us plenty of room to have our shield generators. Noting that we're going to have 2 and they're going to have 4 upgrades each, instead of, you know, 1 and it having 8 upgrades. Right, just need to finish off this section. You know what I would love? I would love the ability to have a block that is like a millimeter thick, like, so it's just a layer, so that you can color individual blocks. Be amazing. Or individual faces, yeah. So if you've got, for example, this guy, yeah, you maybe want this triangular face here, well, both the triangular, but this equilateral triangular face here to be one color, and then this right angle triangle area to be another color, for example. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. And then for here, I want to be able to have this section of one color, and then this section as another color. But no, I have not found a mod that does that. Why, oh why has this happened? Many people probably saw that coming. If you did, then please shout at me in the comments. You know, I enjoyed so much. Okay, now that we have room, let's go and get us some no, not monsters, this, shield generators. Place you down the shield generators, and then we want capacitor, 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 and then flux coil, flux coil, flux coil, flux coil. And then that should be good. And then what we will have down here is... oh, we don't need that actually. Interesting. Okay, so if we were to do the one shield generator and then 4 different things, then we'd have 4 spaces left. If we do it this way, we've got 3 spaces left, and therefore it's better. However, if we just add another one, then we have all the spaces that we ever need. So let's go get flux coils and capacitors. There we go, 3 shield generators, both upgraded by their regen rate and their capacitance. Yeah, that should be good. Okay then. So the last thing that we need is we need to move this thing. Noting that this is supposed to be, you know, a very useful part of the system. Where can we have it? We could have it back here-ish. We need it in an area which isn't going to be noticed, so that this thing can actually look cool. Noting that we've still got 1 armor layer left to put on, so that we can cover the top section and the bottom section. Which is going to be really flimsy, actually, because it's only connected to, you know, here, all those kind of places. Right. I guess we could put it back here and extend... no, we're not going to extend it one more. But what we're going to do, take this out. Yeah, we're going to place the thing here. Then we're going to get rid of you. Get rid of you. Then we're going to replace you with these guys. No, not those guys. These guys. And then have some slopes combined with these. And then we'll seal it off there. And in order to have this thing look nice, we're going to have to change all of this so that it looks the correct way. Okay, so we're going to need corner blocks.
Energy low.
It's only at 25%. I've got, what, a quarter of my life left to be able to recharge. Right, and then, well, I'll be recharging once I test fly this thing so that I can make sure it works. Because if it doesn't work, that's going to be a problem. Okay, and now that's done, that should be good. We've now concealed the shield gen. As you can see, looks like this, but a lot longer. Yeah, nice. Okay, and then the last thing I need is to replace this. Oh yes, that happens, doesn't it? Give me a second. I forgot that, you know, the cockpit can't be attached from here. Luckily, we have nano factories to repair everything, which is a godsend, because if we didn't, that would be very, very bad. Okay, we need to place this guy, which I'm going to place like this, so it looks nice, and then we're going to place the cockpit on top of it, and then all of that should be nice, should be welded together. Then I need to go get myself some uranium, noting that this thing is running on uranium because I can't be bothered to get it to run on anything else. Let's just get, I don't know, 20-ish. And then I need to borrow some arc reactor fuel from somewhere. I think this guy will have some. Arc reactor fuel, I'll take 10,000, please. That's... Oh, right, I can only carry a limited amount. Right, yes. Right, you're now available, so I can throw in uranium into you, and then I can throw in arc fuel into you, which means that we have a life cycle of 17 days. Okay. Well, we're going to be... Oh, no. It's recharging, that's why. We can recharge all we want for 17 days. Right, let's hide those. Hide the flux coils and capacitors. And then we have shield generators. Actually, can I... No, I can't. Okay. I don't know what just happened. I was thinking that I could check what the shield capacitance was, but no. So instead what we're going to do is get rid of this guy. And then we're going to hide one of them. Well, we're going to hide two of them. And then keep one available so that we can have shields. Yeah? No. Yes, that's fine, I guess. And then we can turn it off in terminal. So if we look at shields, then it will show us the shield generator. See? We don't need all of them, we just need one of them. And then you, mister, will be reactor exempt. And then arc reactor exempt. Good. That's nice. And then that will be the construction nanite repair beacon thingy. And then this will be gyro. Okay. Right, system's now operational. The last things that we need are connectors. And then we need to cap this off somehow. Yeah, as I said before, I'd really like some plating that I could place here that doesn't take up an entire block, but just, you know, as a layer that doesn't look too bad. But sadly, that doesn't exist. Or at least, I haven't found one. So I'm going to need to do this manually. I'm going to need to have it look completely weird. Because that's how things roll these days, I guess. Okay, now, here's the big thing, yeah? Oh, right, I know. Place like this. Yeah, so sadly, I'm going to have to take some liberties with how this thing is going to look like, because it may look absolutely horrible. Though the true judge of that is no one, because no one can judge my work, because it is completely unjudgeable. There's nothing to compare it against, and therefore can't be judged. Right. Well, no, it can be judged, but can't be compared. What am I talking about? Face this way, and then face this way. Okay, that's good. And then last thing I need is armor slope here, and then just cover the entire thing. Yeah? Am I correct, Mr. Bond? Yes, you are. Excellent. Well, it certainly does look bulkier than its predecessor. Don't think it doesn't have a predecessor, but you know what I mean. It is significantly bulkier, but I don't see any problems with that, at least not yet. Right, let's start doing this again. Right, I'll be back in a second once I have duplicated armor design on the bottom section of the ship. And there we go. We have our lovely construction drone, which is very, very nice. It's got the same functionality as this this ship here. Hang on. Yeah. I need to rename this antenna actually, because otherwise it's going to be very confusing. He says, small antenna, change to connector drone, and then let's change this to drone. Even though it's not a drone, it's actually, you know, a manned vessel. I call it a drone because I like to. So this is the new heavier connector drone that is actually a construction drone because it can construct things. Last thing that we need to place on here will be the maglock surfaces. So like one here, and then one here. And on the underside we can have one here and one here. Those should now be welded, and everything should be happily fine and dandy and all those other things. Now the last thing I need to do is go in here, go and select the maglock surfaces, change those to maglocks, save, off on terminal, go to maglocks and disable the auto lock. And now I should be able to attach to other ships and give them shields, which is very nice. Please note that this thing will move like a brick. I am probably going to change up the thrusters to tier 2 thrusters in between episodes. That is, if I can be bothered. Because currently I don't have to use it, since there's only me and there's no combat. Just going to dock this thing onto the back of this. And that doesn't look right. Yeah, let's go like this. Go down a bit. Head this way a bit. Down a bit more. Look up a bit, and that should be fine. Lock, turn off, done. The reason why we turn it off is so that the thrusters and gyroscopes don't do anything whatsoever, because that is also what contributes to perils of the warp. I don't know why the oxygen in this area is high. It shouldn't be storing any. Anyway, we're going to dock this guy onto the back as well, so that, you know, we can keep things as neat and tidy as possible. Probably need to shift over this way a bit. That should be good. Right, dock, turn off, get out. Good. So we now have another ship added to our fleet. So that currently goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships. Technically a few of them are tiny, so we've got 3 capital ships and 4 corvette slash utility sized ships. I don't know what to actually consider that entire class, because there's strike fighters, there's the things that are bigger than strike fighters but smaller than capital ships. There's capital ships like these, and then super capital ships, which are absolutely massive, that build these, you know, inside itself. Super capital ships are not what I'm going to be building because, well, I may have one called the Planetary Assault Carrier, but that's kind of it. And that'll probably be my flagship as well. But anyway, if you want to recommend more ships, then do so. The current list includes this ship, which is now done, some oxygen and hydrogen tankers, which, you know, have oxygen and hydrogen tanks in them. Some civilian ships that have respawn points, and also might have oxygen farms so that we can get it passively. Yeah. If you want to suggest more, then go ahead. Until then, however, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.